This boy challenged a girl to a dance battle on the subway that he pulled out some seriously impressive moves, but the girl was just as good, if not better. It turned out that he had been training in street dance since he was a kid and had won plenty of gold medals in competitions. One day, he entered another street dance competition, confident that he would take home the championship again, but unexpectedly, he lost to the same girl from the subway. When school started, he was shocked to discover that she was actually his classmate. From that day on, they began walking home together after school. He knew he wasn't as good as she was, so she started training with him every day. With each other's support, both of their dancing skills improved incredibly fast. Finally, they got the chance to perform together as a dance duo, but he was beyond excited. But then she chose someone else as her partner. Her reason: his skills still weren't good enough to meet her standards. Watching her perform with someone else, he couldn't accept what had happened. So he decided to transfer to another school. But the moment he arrived at his new school, he was surrounded by students. Everyone was lining up to challenge him to a dance battle. He showed off his moves and completely stunned the crowd, but deep down, he knew he still had a long way to go. So every day, he locked himself in the practice room and trained non-stop. Then one day, while he was practicing, she suddenly appeared outside the door. She had come to cheer him on. That's when he realized that she had never given up on him. He pretended that he still hadn't forgiven her. But he couldn't hide the smile on his face. Soon, she started training with him again. Together, they experimented with all kinds of different dance styles and slowly grew into even stronger dancers. And eventually, he finally got the chance to truly fight alongside her on the same stage. If 100 is a perfect score, how many points would you give this boy who never gave up on his dream? This girl was meeting her online boyfriend in person for the very first time. The moment she saw him, her heart started racing. She was beyond excited, but her boyfriend looked like he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He reluctantly sat down and even told her straight to her face that he already regretted coming. The girl couldn't understand why, so she reminded him of all the sweet things he used to say to her online, but he just laughed and said he was only joking. The girl was completely speechless, so she immediately grabbed a glass, threw some rice into it, took a huge bite out of a raw tomato, and stuffed it into her mouth. Then she cracked an egg into the glass, and even ate the eggshell. After mixing everything together, she chugged the whole thing in one go. Then she overheard him talking badly about her, and to make things even worse, he refused to share anything with her. She pulled out a dragon fruit and pretended she couldn't open it, but he coldly refused to help. Not only that, he told her he would never like her. At that point, she figured she had nothing left to lose, so she took a bite out of the dragon fruit, peel and all. Meanwhile, the guy had already made plans to meet another woman, but instead of giving up, the girl decided to completely transform herself. She wiped her face clean and quickly put on some makeup, and in just a few moments, she looked absolutely stunning. Then the guy came back to the table. He walked into a coffee shop, ordered a cup of coffee, and sat by the window, looking out at the street. Suddenly, he spotted a beautiful woman. She was wearing a white dress, her long hair flowing behind her, with a bright smile on her face. He was instantly attracted to her, so he walked over and introduced himself. To his surprise, she responded warmly. They talked for a while and quickly discovered that they had a lot in common. They exchanged contact information and agreed to meet again. He was incredibly sweet to her. He even showed concern for her hand. And then, he pulled out his phone and sent his girlfriend a message, telling her not to bother him while he was on his new date. But here's the twist: the person who received that message was the beautiful girl sitting right in front of him, because that girl was his girlfriend. What do you think she should do next? This girl suddenly realized that she was wearing the exact same outfit as her best friend's boyfriend. To make things even worse, her best friend was standing right next to them. Feeling completely embarrassed, she quickly walked away, only to discover that someone had been using her clothes rack like a handrail. From that moment on, she decided she would never wear that outfit again. But the very next day, she somehow ended up wearing the same clothes as her best friend's boyfriend again. While apologizing, she accidentally fell right on top of him. And after they left, she found herself in even more embarrassing situations. To avoid any more misunderstandings, the girl decided she needed to get a boyfriend as soon as possible. But when a handsome guy tried to give her his phone number, she somehow ended up taking 2 slips instead. Then she accidentally dropped 3 pieces of fruit. Her best friend was completely disappointed in her and told her to try again. By pure coincidence, the girl caught the scent of an amazing cologne in an elevator. It was coming from a handsome guy. She couldn't help but follow him and finally worked up the courage to talk to him. But instead of impressing him, she completely scared him away. Just when she was feeling hopeless, it seemed like her love life was finally about to change. But it turned out that the guy only wanted her seat. At that point, she completely gave up on love. But later, she accidentally left one of her shoes outside the subway. She desperately searched everywhere for it until a handsome guy suddenly came to her rescue. Just when she regretted not asking for his contact information, she ran into him again. This time, she immediately decided to give herself a complete makeover. She pulled out all kinds of strange beauty tools, even reshaping her nose to make it look higher. Then she took out 2 shoulder pads to give herself perfect shoulders. The handsome guy couldn't wait to put on the muscle suit she gave him, instantly transforming himself into a muscular bodybuilder. Then the girl pulled out a mysterious eyebrow tool and even gave him a new eyebrow. She turned around and walked away, but he quickly chased after her while holding her clothes. It turned out that he wanted the girl to put on the muscle suit and pretend to be his girlfriend so she could meet his father. She agreed to help him. When she met his father for the first time, she even brought him a watermelon as a gift. His father politely refused, but she quickly found a way to make sure he couldn't say no. The handsome guy sweetly leaned on her shoulder and told his father the story of their romance with a super strong girl. His father was completely shocked. Taking advantage of the moment, the girl revealed that she was supposedly a boxer and even playfully roughhoused with the guy right in front of his dad. Just as they expected, his father started worrying about his son's safety and finally stopped pressuring him to date. To thank the girl, the handsome guy invited her out to dinner. She dressed up especially for the occasion, but then he suddenly ran into someone who seemed to be his romantic rival. Feeling disrespected, the girl got angry. She took off her wig, quickly removed her makeup, and gave herself a completely new look. But she still wasn't happy with her eyebrows, so she pulled out another eyebrow pencil. Do you think she can still turn things around? This girl had just broken up with her boyfriend, but then she unexpectedly ran into her ex. So she immediately took off her wig, revealed her real hair, and used a bubble tea straw to put her hair up. Then she even rubbed cream all over her face to remove her makeup. The next second, she changed into a blue outfit. She covered her face with foundation and drew little squares all over it. Then she suddenly pretended she didn't know what she was doing and asked her ex-boyfriend for help. Her ex agreed, but he deliberately drew cat whiskers on her face. She was completely shocked and had no choice but to blend everything out with a makeup puff. Then she sprinkled flour all over her face and rubbed it in. While drawing her eyeliner, she accidentally made eye contact with her ex. After finishing her makeup, she realized that her lips were really dry, so she used the lip balm her ex had bought for her back when they were still together. Instantly, her makeup looked absolutely perfect. Then the girl pulled out a giant strawberry cake and 2 huge spoons and generously shared it with her ex. The two of them happily enjoyed the cake together. After a while, she took the straw out of her hair. Then she pretended she couldn't put on her necklace, just so she could ask him for help, and he actually helped her. The girl suddenly got nervous and hurried away. But to her surprise, her ex-boyfriend ran after her. Would you ever get back together with your ex, my friend? This girl had a special straw that allowed her to drink 2 cups of bubble tea at the same time. But then her friend pulled out an even crazier straw that allowed 2 people to share the same drink. That was when she realized that maybe it was time for her to get a boyfriend too. So she planned a chance encounter with a handsome guy. But before she could even finish putting on her face mask, he suddenly showed up. She had no choice but to continue with her skincare routine. Then she pulled out a huge bag of strange snacks and couldn't resist taking a bite. But the snack got stuck in her teeth, and she could barely stand it. Then she realized she had forgotten to bring her skincare products. The guy handed her a strange little box with 2 different face masks inside, and somehow, they worked even better than the products she normally used. She immediately covered her entire face with the mask, and her skin looked amazing. When she returned the masks to him, she discovered even more useful beauty products. One of them looked like a pencil sharpener, and there was even a strange-looking lipstick. She couldn't help but try them out, but then she realized she hadn't even done her makeup yet. To her surprise, the guy offered to do her makeup for her. She was both excited and shy, and as it turned out, he was actually incredibly good at it. In just 10 minutes, he transformed her into a stunning beauty. Before long, the two of them naturally became a couple. But when it was time for their date, she realized she didn't have anything suitable to wear, so she decided to make her own dress. She started by drawing the snowflake pattern she wanted, but honestly, it looked terrible. So she bought some ready-made ones instead, but they were way too big. Determined to save the dress, she carefully painted the snowflakes in beautiful colors, glued real feathers onto the dress, and added the snowflake decorations one by one. She even finished it off with a gorgeous, dramatic train. Finally, the sparkling, dreamy dress was complete. To match the outfit, she couldn't resist putting on a crown and even made a pair of matching wings. This time, she went all out and did a full face of makeup for the date. Do you think this dress is perfect for a date? He was so focused on looking at the girl that he didn't notice the safety bar. With no other choice, he and his friend had to lie down on the ride and try to relax. The girl looked completely confused at first, but then she showed them the right way to lie down. That was when they finally realized that the ride was actually meant to be enjoyed while lying face down. Trying to save face, he decided to go all out on the bumper cars. He was determined to win, and in the end, he actually did. Just then, he noticed that the girl who had helped him earlier had been left behind by her friends. So he and his friends immediately went over and sat beside her. He took her hand and showed his support through his actions. Not long after that, the boy and the girl became a couple. Every day, the boy would run over and pull her into a tight hug, never wanting to let go. He even learned all kinds of creative ways to hug her, just so he could lift her as high as possible, and she would overcome any obstacle without hesitation just to run straight into his arms. The girl was always worried that he might be cold, so she wrapped him tightly in her arms to keep him warm. One day, she deliberately put on a lot of hand cream. When the boy tried to stop her from wiping it off, she put some on his hands too and used the opportunity to hold his hand. She also loved pretending to be tired, knowing that he would carry her anywhere she wanted to go. Would you want a love like this too? This girl was meeting her online boyfriend in person for the very first time. When she saw how handsome he was, she immediately felt shy and nervous. But her boyfriend didn't seem interested at all. He even told her that he regretted coming to meet her. She tried to take the flowers he had prepared, but he refused to give them to her, so she decided to change herself. She quickly started removing her makeup. Then she covered her face with plastic wrap, poked a few holes in it, and aggressively patted foundation onto her face with a makeup puff. Next, she used pink lipstick as blush. While doing her makeup, she accidentally overheard him calling another woman. She was furious, but she kept working on her makeup. After applying lipstick, she flipped the plastic wrap over, pressed it onto her face again, and quickly created a soft, natural-looking makeup look. Then she got hungry and started eating an extra-large spicy snack. After that, she smeared several different colored liquids across her face. Still hungry, she ate a dragon fruit, accidentally giving herself a brand new shade of lipstick. She finished the rest of her makeup and transformed into a stunning beauty. By then, her boyfriend couldn't recognize her at all and actually started flirting with her. She played along, but inside, she was completely speechless. She took the flowers from his hand and immediately took a bite out of them. To her surprise, he didn't get angry. Instead, he told her to be careful not to cut her mouth. Then he sent his girlfriend a text, telling her not to come and bother him. But the person who received that message was the beautiful woman standing right in front of him. What do you think this girl should do? These two had grown up together and had never spent a single day apart. The girl loved dancing in all kinds of styles, and the boy would always secretly copy her moves. Sometimes she could be a little spoiled, but he always gave in to her. Then one day, a new friend came into their lives. Before long, the girl started hanging out with the new friend by herself. The boy decided to ignore her, but she soon came back and tried to make up with him. He still felt a little awkward, but instead of getting impatient, she even asked him to help pick out a hair tie. Before he knew it, he was blushing. After school started, the two of them were constantly messing around and playfully fighting. They were always making noise and causing trouble, taking teenage mischief to a whole new level. But one day, while they were playing a game, someone mistakenly thought they were dating. From that moment on, they stopped walking side by side. The girl quickly found herself a new friend to hang out with, but the boy just couldn't let her go. He tried to get close to her again, only to realize that he no longer seemed to fit into her world with that new friend. He felt sad, but he didn't understand why. Even so, he still couldn't stop being nice to her. He even used his own headphones to help tie up her hair. Then one day, she accidentally bumped into him. It was their first physical contact in days, and suddenly, he understood why he had been feeling so strange. Whenever he saw her, he felt happy, but whenever he saw her getting close to someone else, his heart sank. Once he finally understood his feelings, the way he looked at her completely changed, and he soon realized that she felt the same way too. She would deliberately drop things just to get his attention, only to shyly run away with her cheeks turning red. The boy became even more patient and finally saw through the truth behind all of her shy little actions. Before long, graduation was approaching, and their school days were coming to an end. Looking at the exam papers in his hands, the boy suddenly had an idea. He actually made her a graduation party dress out of the test papers with his own hands. After graduation, the two of them finally set off on a journey of true freedom together, and at last, she accepted the love that had taken so long to arrive. Would you want a love story that starts in school uniforms and lasts all the way to a wedding dress?